Right now, as you are watching this, a massive winter storm is building across the central United States, and it is about to collide with a wall of Arctic air that has not been this far south since January. But here is the twist. This is not just a snowstorm. This one is carrying ice, freezing rain, and behind it, a pattern shift so dramatic that within 10 days we could be talking about tornadoes, flooding, and temperatures 25 degrees above average, all in the same week. That is not normal. That is not even close to normal. In fact, if this pattern verifies the way the models are showing right now, this could be one of the most extreme 2-week weather stretches that the United States has seen in over a decade. We are going from sub-zero wind chills to potential tornado outbreaks in a 10-day span. The atmosphere is about to go haywire, so if you live anywhere east of the Rockies, you need to hear this, every single detail, because the next 14 days are going to be some of the wildest weather we have seen all year. And I'm going to break it all down for you city by city, hour by hour. Over 70 cities, exact timing, exact snowfall ranges, the whole thing. And here is something a lot of weather channels will not tell you. The models have been fighting each other on this storm for 3 straight days. The GFS says one thing, the Euro says another. The Canadian model has its own opinion. I have spent the last 12 hours going through every single model run, comparing them, looking at the trends, and I am going to give you the most honest, straight-up assessment of where this storm is heading. No hype, no fear-mongering, just the facts. But first, drop a comment right now telling me where you are watching from, your city, your state, because I am going to be covering over 70 locations in this forecast, and I want to make sure your area gets the attention it deserves. So comment your location right now. Now here is what I'm going to promise you. By the 5-minute mark of this video, you are going to know exactly when this storm hits your area, how much snow or ice you could see, and whether you need to change your weekend plans. Stick with me. I am going to deliver on that. And at the 30-second mark, here is your first reward for staying. The models have actually shifted dramatically in the last 24 hours. If you watched any forecast yesterday, throw it out. The storm track has moved south, the snow totals have changed, and there is a dangerous ice zone that was not even on the map 48 hours ago. That is brand new information, and you are getting it right here, right now. Let me set the stage. We have an Arctic high-pressure system that is dropping down from Canada. This is a strong one. We are talking about a 1040 millibar high. That is serious cold air, and it is going to park itself just north of North Dakota by Saturday. At the same time, a massive plume of moisture from the Pacific is going to come crashing over the Rocky Mountains and slam right into that cold air dome. When warm, moist air meets Arctic air like that, you get a winter storm. But here is what nobody tells you about this particular setup. The boundary between the warm air and the cold air is going to be razor sharp. We are talking about a 50-degree temperature difference in less than 200 miles. Think about that. You could drive 2 hours in one direction and go from a blizzard to rain. That is how tight this boundary is going to be. On one side, snow. On the other side, freezing rain. And just a little further south, plain old cold rain. The placement of that boundary is everything, and it is going to determine whether you get 6 inches of snow or a 1/4 inch of ice on your power lines. And right now, the models cannot agree on exactly where that boundary sets up. The Euro model has it a little further north. The GFS has trended south over the last 24 hours. The Canadian model is somewhere in between. A shift of just 50 miles in either direction changes the forecast completely for millions of people. That is why I am going to keep updating you daily on this, because the details are going to keep shifting right up until the storm arrives. Let that sink in. A 1/4 inch of ice. That is what takes down trees. That is what knocks out power for days. Now let me walk you through the timing. And this is where it gets really specific. So pay attention. Friday, today. Most of the country is relatively quiet. We do have a weak system pushing through the Ohio Valley and the southeast right now. If you are in Mississippi, Alabama, parts of Georgia, you might see some thunderstorms this afternoon. Birmingham, Jackson, Mississippi, even Greenville, South Carolina, there is a marginal risk of severe weather today. Some of these storms could produce small hail and gusty winds. Nothing extreme, but be aware. Up north, if you are in Illinois, Indiana, around Bloomington or Indianapolis, you might see a few snowflakes this morning. But we are talking a coating. maybe an inch at most. Nothing to worry about. Over in the Northeast, Boston, New York City, Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., you might see a few passing snow showers this evening. But this is not a winter storm. This is nothing, just some flurries drifting through. Do not even think about canceling plans for this. Now here is where it starts to change. Friday night into Saturday, an Alberta Clipper is going to race down from Canada. If you are in New England, northern Vermont, New Hampshire, the Adirondacks in New York, you could pick up a quick inch or two of snow Friday night into early Saturday. Nothing major, but roads could be slick for your Saturday morning commute if you are up in that area. Further west, eastern Montana and the western Dakotas, Billings, Bismarck, you are going to start seeing snow Friday night as this Clipper system drops south. Again, just a couple of inches, but it is the opening act. The warm-up band before the main event, Saturday. This is when things start to get interesting. And I mean that. See, most people are going to go about their Saturday like everything is normal. Grocery shopping, running errands, maybe watching some college basketball. And for most of the country, Saturday will feel pretty normal. But underneath the surface, the atmosphere is loading up. It is like watching a spring get compressed. And by Sunday, that spring releases. By Saturday afternoon, moisture is going to start pouring over the Rockies and stretching out in a long, narrow band from Montana all the way through the Dakotas, Minnesota, down into Iowa and Illinois. Chicago, you are in play. Des Moines, you are in play. But this initial round of snow is going to be light to moderate. We are not talking about the heavy stuff yet. Think of Saturday as the appetizer. Sunday is the main course. And here is a detail that matters if you are planning travel. The snow on Saturday is going to fall on cold roads. Temperatures will already be in the 20s and 30s across the northern plains and upper Midwest. So even light snow is going to accumulate quickly on roads and bridges. If you are driving Saturday evening in Iowa, Illinois, Wisconsin, Minnesota, just slow down. Give yourself extra time. Light snow on a cold road is still slippery snow. Meanwhile, that Arctic high is sitting just north of the Dakotas, pumping cold air south. Temperatures are going to be dropping fast across the northern plains. Wind chills are going to be brutal. If you are in Minneapolis, Fargo, Sioux Falls, Green Bay, bundle up. We are talking wind chills below zero Saturday night. But down south, here is the contrast that makes this storm so wild. Dallas is going to be in the 70s, Houston, mid-70s, San Antonio pushing 80. Meanwhile, Kansas City could be in the 20s. That temperature gradient is insane. And that is what is going to fuel this storm. Saturday evening, late night. The snow starts to pick up across central Illinois, stretching back through Iowa and into the Central Plains. If you are in Springfield, Illinois, Peoria, Champaign, Des Moines, Omaha, this is when you need to be off the roads. Light to moderate snow developing, visibility dropping, and it is only going to get worse from here. Now do not skip ahead, because Sunday is when this storm really shows its teeth. And I have been saving the most important details for right here. You know what separates a forgettable winter storm from one that people talk about for years? It is not just the snow totals. It is the combination of hazards happening simultaneously. Heavy snow in one area, freezing rain 50 miles south, brutal wind chills on the backside. And that is exactly what we are looking at Sunday into Monday. Multiple hazards, all at the same time across a huge area. That is what makes this storm dangerous. Sunday morning, this is the big shift. The moisture from the Pacific really starts to kick into gear, and that razor-sharp boundary I told you about, it sets up right across Kansas, Missouri, and southern Illinois. Here is what it looks like, city by city. Kansas City. You are going to be right on the line. Snow on the north side of the metro, potentially freezing rain and sleet on the south side. This is a messy, dangerous setup. If you are in Kansas City, plan to stay home Sunday. Wichita, Kansas, you are south of the main snow band, but you are in the freezing rain zone, and that is arguably worse. Freezing rain accumulation is possible. That means icy roads, icy bridges, potential power outages. Take this seriously. Topeka, Kansas, similar story. Mix of snow and freezing rain, hazardous travel all day Sunday. St. Louis, you are going to be in a tricky spot. The models have been going back and forth on whether St. Louis gets snow or a wintry mix. Right now, it looks like a mix of snow and freezing rain. Either way, travel is going to be dangerous Sunday into Monday. Now, north of that line, this is where the heavy snow sets up. Des Moines, Iowa. 3 to 5 inches is a real possibility. Could be more if the band sets up just right. Heavy snow developing Sunday morning and continuing into Sunday evening. Omaha, Nebraska. 2 to 4 inches. Snow starts Sunday morning. Heaviest in the afternoon. Lincoln, Nebraska. Similar totals. 2 to 4 inches. Now here's the part you do not want to miss. The heaviest snow corridor on Sunday is going to set up in a narrow band from northern Kansas through central Missouri, across central Illinois, and into Indiana, if you are in Columbia, Missouri, Jefferson City, Springfield, Illinois, Indianapolis. You could be looking at 4 to 6 inches of heavy wet snow, maybe more in the heaviest bands. Indianapolis, let me talk to you specifically. The Euro model brings the heaviest snow right through your metro. Sunday night into Monday morning could be a mess. 4 to 6 inches is very much on the table. Plan accordingly. Dayton, Ohio. Columbus, Ohio. You are on the eastern edge of this heavy snow band, 3 to 5 inches possible. Snow starts late Sunday, continues into Monday. Cincinnati. You're going to be right on that rain-snow line again. Could start as snow, transition to a wintry mix. 2 to 4 inches of snow is possible before it changes over. Now let me jump to the Monday timeline, because this storm does not stop on Sunday. Not even close. In fact, for a lot of people on the East Coast, Monday is actually going to be your biggest impact day. Sunday is the Central United States day. Monday is the Eastern United States day. And if you live anywhere from Pittsburgh to Philadelphia to Washington, D.C. to Baltimore to Wilmington, Monday is the day you need to be paying attention to. Here's the thing about Monday. The storm is going to be evolving as it moves east. It is going to lose a little bit of energy, but that Arctic high pressure to the north is going to be perfectly positioned to funnel cold air down the east side of the Appalachians. And that cold air is going to lock in place. So when the moisture arrives, it hits that cold air mass and boom, snow, and in some cases, heavy snow. Monday morning, March 2nd, the heavy snow band shifts east, and this is where the mid-Atlantic and parts of the Northeast come into play. Pittsburgh. Snow starts overnight Sunday into Monday morning, 3 to 5 inches possible. Heavy, wet snow. This could impact the Monday morning commute significantly. West Virginia, Morgantown, Charleston, Clarksburg. This is going to be a significant event for you. The GFS model actually drops over half a foot of snow across portions of West Virginia. 4 to 7 inches is realistic for higher elevations. Now the Mid-Atlantic, this is where it gets really interesting. Washington, D.C. The models have been trending to bring a meaningful snowfall event to the nation's capital. Monday is the day. Snow develops Monday morning and could continue into Monday evening. 2 to 4 inches is a reasonable expectation right now. Could be more if the storm tracks a little further south. Baltimore. Same timeline as D.C. 2 to 4 inches, maybe a bit more on the north side of the metro. Monday is going to be a snow day for a lot of folks in Maryland, Northern Virginia, Arlington, Fairfax, Alexandria, Fredericksburg. You are in the zone, 2 to 5 inches. The further south you go toward Richmond, the more of a mix you could see with some freezing rain mixing in. Richmond, Virginia. This is a borderline area. You could see snow changing to a wintry mix, 1 to 3 inches of snow before it transitions. But that transition to freezing rain is what concerns me most. Ice on the roads is far more dangerous than snow. The Delmarva Peninsula, Dover, Delaware, Salisbury, Maryland. This area could actually see some of the heavier totals. 4 to 6 inches is not out of the question if the storm tracks just right. The models have been consistently targeting this corridor. Philadelphia, you are on the northern fringe. 1 to 3 inches possible Monday into Monday night. Not a huge event for Philly, but enough to make the commute messy. New York City, light snow possible late Monday, maybe an inch or two at most. The heaviest snow passes to your south. Now here is a twist that the models just started showing in the last 24 hours. Monday night into Tuesday. As the main storm pushes offshore, another piece of energy drops down. And if you are in New England, this could mean a second round of winter weather. Boston, Hartford, Providence, you could see snow developing late Monday night into Tuesday. The GFS model is more aggressive with this than the Euro. It could be anywhere from a dusting to 4 inches depending on which model verifies. We are watching this closely. Northern New England, Portland, Maine, Burlington, Vermont, Concord, New Hampshire. A few inches of snow Tuesday into Wednesday is definitely possible. But here is the thing, and this is important. Whatever snow you get, it is not going to stick around long. Because right behind this storm, the weather pattern is about to flip completely. Do not go anywhere. Because what happens after this winter storm is even more important than the storm itself. And if you skip this part, you are going to miss the biggest story of the entire forecast. All right, let me talk about the ice threat, because I know a lot of you in the southern tier are worried about this, and rightfully so. Ice storms are sneaky. Snow gets all the attention. Snowstorms make the headlines. But ice? Ice is the silent killer. A quarter-inch of ice accumulation weighs down power lines. It coats tree branches until they snap. A half-inch of ice can shut down an entire city for days. And the thing about ice is, you cannot see it on the roads. Black ice is invisible until your tires lose grip. And right now, the models are showing a corridor of freezing rain with this storm that we need to take very seriously. After what happened last month with that devastating ice storm in Tennessee, I know people are on edge. Here's the good news for right now. Tennessee, you are probably in the clear for a major ice event this time. The freezing rain line looks like it is going to set up further north. The primary ice risk zone is going to be across southern Missouri, southern Illinois, Kentucky, and possibly southern Indiana. Louisville, Kentucky. You need to watch this closely. A mix of snow and freezing rain is very possible Sunday night into Monday. Any ice accumulation on top of snow makes for extremely dangerous conditions. Lexington, Kentucky. Same deal. Snow transitioning to freezing rain. Be prepared for power outages and hazardous roads. Evansville, Indiana. You are right in that transition zone. Could go either way. Snow, ice, or a mix of both. Joplin, Missouri. The GFS model specifically targets your area for freezing rain and sleet Sunday night. Take this seriously. Springfield, Missouri. You are on the edge. Could see snow, could see ice, depends on exactly where that boundary sets up. Stay tuned to your local forecast, Little Rock, Arkansas. You are south of the ice line for this event, but heavy rain is coming your way. And the flooding risk is increasing across Arkansas throughout the first 2 weeks of March. We will get to that in a minute. Nashville, Tennessee, you should be fine for this particular storm. Rain for you, but the ground is still saturated from recent events, so even rain could cause some minor flooding issues. Atlanta, Georgia. Rain. Just rain. Temperatures in the 50s. No winter weather concerns for you this weekend. Charlotte, North Carolina. Mainly rain. The very northern mountains of North Carolina could see a little freezing rain Monday night, but for Charlotte proper, it is just a rainy day. Now I promised you the bigger picture, and we are at that 5-minute mark. So let me deliver. Here is what is coming after this winter storm. And honestly, this is the part that has meteorologists really buzzing. If the winter storm is the headline, this pattern shift is the front page story. This is what is going to dominate the weather across the entire United States for potentially the next 2 to 3 weeks. Starting around Wednesday, March 4th, the entire weather pattern across the United States is going to shift dramatically. And I mean dramatically. It is like Mother Nature is going to flip a light switch. The Arctic air retreats back into Canada like it was never here. A massive ridge of high pressure builds over the eastern United States, and temperatures are going to skyrocket. I am talking 15 to 25 degrees above average across the eastern half of the country. Within a week of this winter storm, within 7 short days, you could be looking at temperatures in the 70s in places like Chicago, the 60s in New York City, the 80s across the Deep South. People are going to be wearing shorts. Grills are going to come out. Windows are going to be open. It is going to feel like April or May, not early March. But wait, that warmth comes with a price. Because at the same time that ridge builds in the east, a deep trough is going to dig into the western United States. And where those two clash, right over the central United States, you get storm after storm after storm. The Euro model, the GFS model, the Canadian model, they are all in agreement on this. From around March 5th through the 11th, we are looking at multiple low-pressure systems cutting across the middle of the country, one after another, like a conveyor belt of storms. And here is what that means. Severe weather, tornadoes, large hail, damaging winds. The severe weather season that has been mostly dormant this winter is about to wake up in a big way. And I am not exaggerating when I say this. Look at the operational model runs. The Euro shows low pressure after low pressure after low pressure cutting across the central United States. I counted at least 4 or 5 distinct storm systems in a 2-week window. The GFS shows the same thing. When 2 completely independent models from 2 different countries are agreeing on an extremely active pattern, you pay attention. Now, I want to be clear, I am not telling you this to scare you. I am telling you this so you can prepare. Severe weather is a normal part of spring across the central and southern United States, but the speed at which we are transitioning from winter to severe weather season this year is unusual. We are going from blizzard conditions to potential tornado conditions in less than a week. That is a fast flip. The Climate Prediction Center already has a moderate risk of heavy precipitation posted for March 5th through the 7th. That is not something they do lightly. Dew points are going to surge into the 60s across the deep south. When you get dew points in the 60s, that is the fuel that thunderstorms need to become severe. And think about it. We are going from sub-zero wind chills to 70-degree weather in less than a week. That kind of temperature whiplash is exactly what creates the instability needed for big, severe weather events. Here are the cities that need to be on high alert for severe weather during the first 2 weeks of March. And if your city is on this list, start thinking about your severe weather plan now. Do not wait until the storms are in the forecast. Dallas, Texas, Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Little Rock, Arkansas, Memphis, Tennessee, Jackson, Mississippi, Birmingham, Alabama, Shreveport, Louisiana, Monroe, Louisiana, Tyler, Texas, Texarkana, Pine Bluff, Arkansas, Tupelo, Mississippi, Huntsville, Alabama, and really the entire corridor from Central Texas through the Deep South and into the Tennessee Valley. This is Tornado Alley, this is Dixie Alley, and both of them are about to light up. The dew point levels that the Euro Ensemble model is projecting for the first week of March are well into the 60s. Some projections even show dew points approaching 70 in parts of the Gulf Coast. When you combine dew points that high with the strong wind shear that comes from these fast-moving low-pressure systems, you get the recipe for not just thunderstorms but supercells, the kind of storms that produce large hail, damaging straight-line winds, and yes, tornadoes. Including strong tornadoes. The Storm Prediction Center has not issued any formal outlooks yet for this period because we are still more than 5 days out. But they have acknowledged the pattern shift in their extended discussions. And I fully expect we will start seeing day 4 through 8 severe weather outlooks posted within the next few days. But it does not stop there. As these low-pressure systems race east, they are going to pull that warm, moist air further north. So even places like St. Louis, Nashville, Louisville, and potentially even Indianapolis could see thunderstorm activity and severe weather threats later in the first week of March. And the flooding. Let me talk about the flooding. Because this might actually be the biggest story of the next 2 weeks, and nobody is talking about it yet. The central and eastern United States has been dealing with drought conditions, Florida especially, parts of the southeast, the Carolinas. Georgia has been bone dry, Alabama too. And while we all want the rain, here is the problem. When it comes this fast and this heavy after a prolonged dry spell, the ground is baked hard. It is like concrete. The soil cannot absorb the water fast enough. So instead of soaking in, the rain runs off. Creeks rise, rivers swell, low-lying areas flood, and it happens faster than people expect. The Weather Prediction Center has already issued a moderate risk of heavy precipitation for March 5th through the 11th. That is a formal, official outlook from the federal government telling you this is coming. That moderate risk covers a huge swath of the central United States. Arkansas, you are going to be the battleground. Multiple rounds of heavy rain are expected. The Euro Ensemble model shows multiple inches of precipitation accumulating across Arkansas, Missouri, the Ohio Valley, and the Tennessee Valley throughout the first 2 weeks of March. Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Springfield, Missouri, you are going to see round after round of rain, some of it heavy, some of it accompanied by severe thunderstorms. The flooding risk is going to steadily increase throughout early March, and even into the second week of March, the pattern does not let up. More low-pressure systems, more storms. The GFS model is literally showing what could be one of the most active stretches of March weather in years, possibly a decade. Now let me give you the temperature outlook. Because this is going to shock some of you. I mean, genuinely shock you. Think about where we are right now. It is late February. Parts of the northern plains are going to see wind chills below 0 this weekend. And within 7 days, those same areas could be 40, 50, even 60 degrees warmer. That is not a typo. That is the kind of temperature swing that makes your body not know what to do. One day you are in a heavy winter coat. A week later, you are in a t-shirt. By next Friday, March 7th, Chicago could be near 60 degrees. That would be one of the warmest days of 2026 so far for the Windy City. Des Moines around 65, Dallas in the mid-70s to low 80s, and it only gets warmer from there. By the second week of March, around March 10th through the 14th, we could be seeing temperatures in the 70s as far north as North Dakota, Minnesota, and Wisconsin. Let me say that again, 70s in North Dakota. In early March, that is 20 to 30 degrees above normal. Down south, parts of Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia could be pushing into the mid-80s, maybe even hitting 90 in southern Texas. And the pollen. If you have allergies, I am sorry, but it is about to get bad. This warmth is going to send pollen counts through the roof across the southeast. Now, I know some of you are thinking, wait, does that mean winter is over? Not so fast. Here is something that not a lot of people are talking about. Even as this massive warm-up takes hold in early to mid-March, there is still a significant cold air source locked up in Canada, and the second half of March could bring a surprise. Multiple models have hinted at a late-season cold shot that could bring winter weather back, possibly even a late-season snowstorm. We are not going to get into that today because it is too far out, but I want you to know, do not put the snow shovels away just yet. We have seen March blizzards before. Remember, March 2023, that late season nor'easter that caught everyone off guard. The pattern is not done with surprises. And think about this, all that warm air flooding into the eastern United States right now, it has to go somewhere eventually. And when the pattern shifts again, which it always does, the collision between that lingering warmth and a returning cold shot could create some explosive weather. We are talking potential for late-season ice storms, heavy wet snow events, and yes, even more severe weather outbreaks. March is the most unpredictable month of the year, and 2026 is proving that in spectacular fashion. That is actually going to be the topic of our next video, what the second half of March could look like. And trust me, there are some wild signals in the long-range models. You are going to want to see that, so make sure you are subscribed so you do not miss it. Now, let me do a rapid-fire city-by-city recap, because I know a lot of you scrolled looking for your city. Maybe you jumped ahead. Maybe you have been waiting patiently. Either way, here is your complete breakdown. I am going to hit over 70 cities and locations across the country. If your city is not on here, drop it in the comments and I will get back to you. Ready? Let us go. Western United States. And I will start here because the good news is most of you out west are sitting this one out. Denver, Salt Lake City, Phoenix, Las Vegas, Boise, Portland, Oregon, Seattle, Los Angeles, San Francisco, Albuquerque, El Paso. You are mostly quiet this weekend. The action is all to your east. But that trough digging into the western United States next week could bring some mountain snow and cooler temperatures. Denver, you might actually see a pattern change by mid-next week with some snow in the Front Range foothills. Nothing extreme for now, just a pattern change heading your way. And for those of you in the Pacific Northwest, Seattle and Portland, enjoy the dry window while it lasts. The jet stream pattern that is about to set up could eventually bring some moisture your way later in March. Tucson, Reno, Sacramento, San Diego, same story. Enjoy the quiet while it lasts. The active pattern is going to eventually work its way west. Now, the central United States, this is where the action is. Fargo, North Dakota. Bitter cold this weekend, wind chills below zero, light snow possible, but by mid-next week you could be in the 50s. Wild Swing, Sioux Falls, South Dakota, same cold blast this weekend, 1 to 3 inches of snow Saturday, then a rapid warm-up by Wednesday, Minneapolis, Minnesota, cold and breezy this weekend, light snow Saturday, maybe an inch or two. But by Thursday of next week, you could be near 60 degrees. Milwaukee, Wisconsin, light snow Saturday into Sunday, 1 to 2 inches. Arctic air Sunday, then the flip. 50s by the middle of next week, Green Bay, Wisconsin, similar to Milwaukee. Cold weekend, light snow, then a massive warm-up, Chicago, Illinois. Here is your timeline, light snow Saturday. The main event snow band could clip the southern suburbs Sunday night into Monday, 2 to 4 inches south of the city, less in the city proper. Then temperatures surging into the upper 50s to near 60 by Friday, Rockford, Illinois. 1 to 3 inches of snow Sunday. Then the warm-up, Detroit, Michigan. 1 to 2 inches of snow possible Monday. Not a big event, but messy for the morning commute. Warming up rapidly after that, Grand Rapids, Michigan. Light snow Saturday from the Clipper system. 1 to 2 inches, then another round possible Monday. 3 to 4 inches total through the event. Lansing, Michigan. Similar to Grand Rapids, 2 to 3 inches total through the weekend into Monday. Cleveland, Ohio. Snow developing Monday morning, 2 to 4 inches, could be heavy at times, then transitioning out by Monday evening. Akron, Ohio, same as Cleveland, 2 to 4 inches Monday. Toledo, Ohio, 1 to 3 inches. Snow starts late Sunday night. Fort Wayne, Indiana, 3 to 5 inches. Heavy snow Sunday night into Monday morning. This could be one of the heavier totals in Indiana. South Bend, Indiana, 2 to 3 inches. Lake effect could add a bit more. Indianapolis, I already covered you, but let me repeat. 4 to 6 inches is very possible. Sunday night through Monday. This is the real deal for you. Plan ahead. Terre Haute, Indiana, 3 to 5 inches, right in the heavy snow band. Louisville, Kentucky, snow and ice mix, 2 to 3 inches of snow plus freezing rain. Very dangerous conditions. Sunday night into Monday, Lexington, Kentucky, similar to Louisville, snow changing to freezing rain. Hazardous roads. Frankfort, Kentucky, same ice and snow concerns. Stay off the roads if you can. Kansas City, Missouri, and Kansas, right on the snow-ice line, could go either way. 3 to 5 inches of snow on the north side, freezing rain south. Sunday is your day of impact. St. Louis, Missouri. Wintry mix Sunday into Monday. 1 to 3 inches of snow with periods of freezing rain. Messy travel, Columbia, Missouri, 3 to 5 inches of heavy snow, right in the bullseye of the heaviest band. Jefferson City, Missouri, same as Columbia, heavy snow. Springfield, Missouri, 1 to 3 inches with a mix of freezing rain possible. The ice is the bigger concern here. Joplin, Missouri, freezing rain and sleet, 1 to 2 inches of snow, but ice accumulation is the real threat. Wichita, Kansas, mostly freezing rain, some sleet. Very dangerous road conditions Sunday. Topeka, Kansas, mix of snow and freezing rain. 2 to 4 inches of snow before transitioning. Tulsa, Oklahoma, mainly rain for you this round, but severe weather is coming your way later next week. Oklahoma City, rain this weekend, but get ready. Severe storms likely by mid next week. Now the East Coast, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, snow Monday, 3 to 5 inches. Wet, heavy snow. Power outages possible. Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, 2 to 3 inches Monday. Allentown, Pennsylvania, 1 to 2 inches late Monday. Scranton, Pennsylvania, 1 to 3 inches Monday into Monday night. State College, Pennsylvania, 3 to 4 inches, right in the path of the heavier snow. Washington, D.C., 2 to 4 inches Monday, possible 5 in the northern suburbs. This is going to be a legitimate snow event for the capital. Baltimore, Maryland, 2 to 5 inches, heavier on the north side of the metro. Monday is your snow day. Annapolis, Maryland, 3 to 5 inches, right in the heavier snow zone. Dover, Delaware, 4 to 6 inches possible. This could be one of the bigger totals along the Delmarva. Wilmington, Delaware, 3 to 5 inches Monday. Norfolk, Virginia, mix of rain and snow. 1 to 2 inches of snow possible with some freezing rain mixed in. Virginia Beach, mainly rain, maybe a brief change to snow. Roanoke, Virginia, 2 to 4 inches of snow. Mountainous terrain could see more. Charlottesville, Virginia, 2 to 3 inches. Wintry mix possible. Raleigh, North Carolina, mainly rain. The northern mountains could see some light freezing rain Monday night, but the city stays above freezing. Greensboro, North Carolina, rain with a brief period of wintry mix possible late Monday. Asheville, North Carolina, 1 to 2 inches of snow possible. Freezing rain in the valleys. Knoxville, Tennessee, rain. You are south of the ice line this time. Good news for you. Chattanooga, Tennessee, rain only. No winter weather concerns. Philadelphia, 1 to 3 inches late Monday. Not a blockbuster, but enough to cause problems. New York City, an inch, maybe 2. Late Monday into early Tuesday. The real action is south of you this time. Newark, New Jersey, same as New York. An inch or 2. Trenton, New Jersey, 2 to 3 inches. You are a little further south, so you catch more. Hartford, Connecticut, 1 to 2 inches Tuesday. Depends on the secondary system. Boston, Massachusetts, light snow possible Tuesday. 1 to 2 inches if the GFS verifies. Could be less. Providence, Rhode Island, same as Boston. 1 to 2 inches Tuesday. Portland, Maine, 2 to 3 inches possible Tuesday into Wednesday. Burlington, Vermont, 2 to 4 inches. You always get the goods from these clippers and secondary systems. Concord, New Hampshire, 2 to 3 inches Tuesday. Cape Cod, Massachusetts, 1 to 2 inches with some gusty winds. Down south, let me quickly cover you. And I know a lot of you in the south are watching because you have been through a rough winter already. Between the ice storms, the unusual cold snaps, it has been a lot. So here is what you need to know for the next 2 weeks. Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Tampa, Orlando, Jacksonville, no winter weather, obviously. But thunderstorms are possible this weekend as moisture streams across Florida. This rain will actually be welcome because it will help with the drought conditions you have been dealing with. Parts of southern Florida are in moderate to severe drought right now. Any rain you get this weekend is going to help. Jacksonville could see some heavier downpours. Tampa, you might see an inch or two of rain this weekend. And the good news is the pattern heading into March favors continued chances for rain across Florida. That drought is going to start easing up Savannah, Georgia. Rain this weekend. Some heavy at times. Charleston, South Carolina. Rain. Breezy. Some thunderstorms possible. Columbia, South Carolina. Rain and possibly a few strong storms Thursday afternoon. Macon, Georgia. Rain. Nothing severe expected. Montgomery, Alabama. Watch for strong storms today. Marginal severe risk. Then rain this weekend. Mobile, Alabama. Heavy rain possible this weekend. New Orleans, Louisiana. Rain this weekend. Thunderstorms possible. But the real severe weather threat comes later next week. Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Same as New Orleans. Rain now, storms later. Jackson, Mississippi. Storms possible today, then rain this weekend. Severe weather threat increases dramatically after March 5th. Now here is what I need you to do, and I mean today, not tomorrow, not Sunday morning when the snow is already on your windshield. Today, first, if I did not mention your city, drop it in the comments right now. I will try to get you an update in the comments or in the next video. Seriously, I check every single comment. Your city matters to me. Second, if you are in the snow zone, get your supplies ready this weekend. Groceries, batteries, gas up the car, fill up your prescriptions if you are running low. Make sure you have enough food for 2 to 3 days just in case. Do not wait until Sunday when the snow is already falling and the grocery store shelves are empty. You know how this goes. Every single time there is a winter storm, people wait until the last minute and then panic. Do not be that person. Be the person who is sitting at home Sunday afternoon with a cup of coffee watching the snowfall, already prepared. Third, if you are in the ice zone, and that means southern Missouri, southern Illinois, Kentucky, and parts of Indiana, charge your devices now. All of them. Phone, tablet, laptop, have flashlights ready. Ice is the #1 cause of power outages during winter storms. A 1/4 inch of ice accumulation brings down tree limbs and power lines. If you have a generator, test it today. Make sure it works. Make sure you have fuel. If you are on well water, fill up some containers because no power means no water pump. Fourth, if you are in the severe weather corridor next week, and that is basically everyone from Texas through the Ohio Valley, start thinking about your plan now. Know where your safe spot is. Basement, interior room, no windows. Have a way to receive weather alerts, especially at night when tornadoes are hardest to see. Download a weather app that gives you push notifications. Make sure your phone is not on silent mode when you go to bed. Nighttime tornadoes kill more people than daytime tornadoes because people are asleep and do not hear the warnings. Do not let that be you. Fifth, if you have elderly parents, grandparents, neighbors who live alone, check on them. Call them. Make sure they know this storm is coming. Make sure they have what they need. That 5-minute phone call could save a life. I am not being dramatic. Winter storms and ice events disproportionately affect the elderly. A fall on an icy sidewalk, a house that loses power and heat. These are real risks for vulnerable people. Be a good neighbor this weekend. And here is the timeline summary for the entire event. I want you to screenshot this part. Save it. Come back to it over the weekend as the storm approaches. This is your cheat sheet for the next 14 days. Friday, February 28th. Quiet for most. Light storms in the southeast. A few flurries in the Ohio Valley and northeast. Saturday, March 1st. Arctic cold arrives in the northern plains. Light snow developing from Montana through the Dakotas, Iowa, and Illinois. Clipper system brings light snow to New England. Sunday, March 1st. The main event begins. Heavy snow developing from Kansas through Missouri, Illinois, Indiana. Freezing rain south of the snow band. Dangerous ice in southern Missouri, southern Illinois, Kentucky. Storm intensifies through the day and evening. Monday, March 2nd. Heavy snow shifts east into Ohio, West Virginia, the Mid-Atlantic. Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Delaware get their biggest snowfall. Storm begins to exit by Monday evening. Secondary system possible for the Northeast Monday night, Tuesday, March 3rd. Snow lingers in New England. Cold air hangs on across the Northeast, but the warm-up is already beginning in the South and Central states. Wednesday, March 4th. Pattern flip. Temperatures surging, the severe weather pattern activates. Thursday through Sunday, March 5th through 9th, multiple storms crossing the central United States. Severe weather potential ramps up dramatically. Heavy rain and flooding risk increase across the South, the Ohio Valley, and the Central Plains. Temperatures soaring 15 to 25 degrees above normal. Second week of March. The active pattern continues. More storms, more severe weather. Temperatures potentially reaching the 70s in the Dakotas and Minnesota, 80s in the Deep South, one of the most active starts to March in over a decade. This is going to be the kind of 2-week stretch that weather enthusiasts live for. And for everyone else, it is the kind of 2-week stretch where you need to stay informed and stay prepared. I also want to mention something real quick about travel. If you have flights booked this weekend, especially through major hubs like Chicago O'Hare, Indianapolis, St. Louis, Washington Dulles, Baltimore, Washington International, or Philadelphia, check with your airline. Sunday and Monday are the days with the highest risk of flight delays and cancellations due to this winter storm. If you can adjust your travel plans to avoid those 2 days, you might save yourself a lot of headaches sitting in an airport terminal. Same goes for road travel. If you are driving through the Midwest or the Mid-Atlantic this weekend, keep an eye on road conditions. State departments of transportation are going to be pre-treating highways. But when you get heavy snow and especially ice, it takes time for plows and salt trucks to keep up. Give yourself extra time, slow down, and if conditions get really bad, just pull over and wait it out. No trip is worth risking your life. Here is the bottom line, and I want you to really hear this. This weekend brings a significant winter storm with heavy snow, dangerous ice, and frigid temperatures. For some of you in the Central Plains and the Ohio Valley, this could be the biggest snow event you have seen in weeks. For others in the ice zone, this could be the most dangerous travel day of the entire winter. Do not underestimate it. But here is the bigger picture. This winter storm is essentially the last stand of winter. What comes after it is a complete pattern reversal that brings warmth, storms, severe weather, and flooding risk. The atmosphere is about to flip a switch, and when it does, we are going from winter straight into an early and aggressive severe weather season. The next 2 weeks are going to be absolutely wild across the United States, from coast to coast. Snow, ice, record warmth, severe thunderstorms, tornadoes, flooding, all of it in a 14-day window. That is extraordinary. That is the kind of weather pattern that keeps meteorologists up at night staring at model runs. And we are going to be covering every single day of it. Every storm, every severe weather event, every shift in the pattern. This channel is your go-to source for the most detailed, most honest weather forecasting you are going to find anywhere. No clickbait, no exaggeration, just the truth about what is heading your way. Now remember what I said earlier, the second half of March has some very interesting signals in the long-range models. There are hints of a late-season cold shot that could bring winter back for one more round, and there is a very specific signal in the Euro ensemble that has been consistent for 4 straight days now. I am not going to reveal it in this video because I want to wait for a few more model runs to come in. But if it verifies, it is going to be a major story. We are going to break that down in our next video. And if you thought this forecast was detailed, wait until you see what we have coming. One more thing before I go, I want to address something. Some of you have seen other channels showing a foot of snow across massive areas, showing catastrophic blizzard conditions. Look, the trend over the last 24 hours has been downward for snow totals. The models have come down significantly from where they were 2 days ago. This is not going to be a historic blizzard for most areas. It is going to be a significant winter storm, yes, but I am not going to stand here and tell you that 2 feet of snow is coming when the data does not support it. I respect you too much for that. You deserve the truth, even if it is less exciting than what someone else is posting for clicks. Make sure you are subscribed, hit the notification bell, because when severe weather starts firing up next week, we are going to be going live multiple times, and you do not want to miss that. Last year, when we went live during severe weather events, we were able to give real-time updates that helped people in the path of storms make decisions that kept them safe. That is what we are here for. That is what this channel is about. Drop your city in the comments. I read every single one, and I will do my best to get you specific forecasts for your area. If you are watching from a smaller town that I did not cover in this video, Tell me. I will look at the models for your specific location and reply. Share this video with someone you know who lives in the storm zone this weekend. A family member, a friend, a coworker. Just send them the link. That 5 seconds it takes you to share could be the reason they see the forecast and prepare instead of getting caught off guard. Stay safe out there this weekend. Stock up, stay informed, take care of each other, and we will see you in the next one.